Yo, what's going on? So, I did a video the other day called "The Key to Success is to Stay Away from NIGGAS," right? And I'm gonna show you what I had on, real quick. This is what I wore. Hold on. Straight up. See that? Because we can't mesh together. You know what I'm saying? We live in two different worlds. And you may sit back and say, "Oh, you trying to be white?" So, I did that for a reason. And I proved my point. So, in the comment section of that video, I got people threatening me. Straight up. A dude was like, "Yo, don't let me catch you in Charlotte. I'll be uptown, etc., etc. And when I see you, it's on site." I got people telling me, WTF, what the F you got on? And it proved my point. I'm making this relevant. Hold on. Hear me out. We're still on the Tupac thing. Hear me out. It proved my point. That black people can't be whoever they want to be. Like, we can't cosplay. We can't, like, straight up. Even, that's my child's blanket. That's my children's blanket. Right? But let's just even take it back further. You know what I'm saying? When I was a kid, I had Spider-Man sheets on my bed. I was a fan of Spider-Man when I was a kid. So why is it that I can't put on a Spider-Man blanket? I know, because if you're black, you can't cosplay. You can't express yourself however you want to express yourself. No, you have to be negative. You got to wear hoodies like this, all black. And it's a shame. It's a shame. I wore that blanket for a reason, and black people prove my point that you cannot be. One of these guys called me a weirdo. You can't be who you want to be in life. You can't be a person that reads comic books, watches Japanimation or anime. You can't be somebody that likes to roller skate or skateboard. No, you have to do whatever the hood forces you to do. You have to be within those stereotypes of who and what a black man and a black woman is. I knew black people were gonna fall for that. Or rather, should I say, NIGGASs were going to fall for that. I knew it. That's the reason why I wore that Spider-Man blanket. Because I knew people were going to prove me right. And they proved me right. Which brings me to this point. It's crazy how people would chastise me for wearing a Spider-Man blanket over my head, right? But y'all didn't get on the baby, the rapper, when he was walking around wearing diapers, performing his music. I didn't wear diapers. All I wore one time was a Spider-Man blanket over my head. And people literally went ape shit. You didn't have a problem when Tupac, oh yes, I'm going there. You didn't have a problem when Tupac, some of y'all are not even alive to bear witness this. People my age that were in the 90s know this for a fact. Pretty Ricky as well. You didn't have a problem when Tupac was performing with Digital Underground. He was with them, as a backup dancer. You didn't have a problem when Tupac was a backup dancer and it was, oh yes, I'm gonna bring it to you. They got pictures of it. They got video footage of it. He was wearing a thong, humping a blow-up doll. Didn't have a problem then, right? But all of a sudden, y'all got a problem with me wearing a blanket of a Spider-Man blanket over my head. Don't have a problem with the baby from Charlotte running back and forth, performing his songs with a diaper on. Don't have a problem with Tupac when he was with Digital Underground, performing Do What You Like, he dancing with a thong on. humping a blow-up doll. Don't have a problem with that. Which brings me to this point. Was Tupac a liability or asset to the black community? I want to know. Because at the end of the day, I got tons of questions when it comes to Tupac. Especially when it comes to his sexuality. Because if you look at the video that he did when he was in high school, he sounded a little fruity, yo. My name is Tupac Shakur. Had his hair dyed. You know, he was dancing with Jada Pinkett. Yeah. This is your man. This is your man. This is who the hood looks up to. Tupac Shakur. A man that went to a performing arts school in Maryland. So he knew how to act. He wasn't a gangster. He wasn't a thug. You didn't get that Tupac until he was in his early 20s. Prior to that, Tupac was writing poetry, reading books, going to school. He was raised by a Black Panther. You didn't get thug life until he was in his 20s. Plain and simple. And in my opinion, to answer the question, was Tupac an asset or a liability to the black community? I'll say he was a liability. That man was confused. And his actions spoke louder than his words, in my opinion. Yeah, he talked that black power stuff at times. I said at times. Most times he did. When he did interviews. In his music. Most times he didn't. But he did speak that black. He did talk that black talk at times. But most times it was about thug life. It was about drinking Hennessy, smoking weed, and messing around with these hoes. The same type of stuff or content that we hear in our rhymes from the rappers today. Straight up. My question to you, if you feel as though that he was an asset to the black community, why is it that in the hood, young black men and women are not writing more poetry? They're not being more black or concerned with black issues. If he was an asset. Is the question. And it's crazy how someone would literally want to physically harm me off of me having an opinion about Tupac. And that someone, 9 times out of 10, have never met him before in his life. His or her life. It's crazy in a black community, you can't even have an opinion these days without someone threatening you. Don't you ever in your life, black community, that goes for all black people, don't you ever in your life blame anything on a white man. From this point on, we are destroying one another. Destroying one another over stupid shit. This is crazy. I'm trying to understand, why would anyone look up to Tupac? Why? His actions spoke louder than his words. What he did. What he's done. He hasn't done anything for the black community. What? He was a man that was confused, conflicted. And oftentimes what black people do is we pick the person that's scarred, that's emotionally unbalanced, in order for them, or those people, or that person that we pick to be our leaders. This man drank, smoked, and was a womanizer. He made a song called I Get Around. And then either it was before he made the song, he came out with I Get Around, or after. Brenda's Got a Baby, or Dear Mama. How would you ever pair him up with Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, Marcus Garvey? He was none of those people. Nowhere near it. This man was not disciplined at all. You may say he was disciplined in the studio. Yeah, he came out with hundreds upon hundreds of songs. I'm pretty sure that they still have songs somewhere, new songs somewhere with Tupac did. You know what I'm saying? That we haven't heard before. But to say that he was an asset to the black community, come on, please. You're going too far with that. You're going too far. Straight up. Tupac did a lot of questionable things. Especially when he was taking those he has those pictures. It's online. I'm not making anything of this up. Any of it. You can go online and see these pictures. You know what I'm saying? Where he was in a tub, butt naked, with gold all over his body, over his private parts. His chest is exposed, his legs is exposed. He has his legs out and his hands crossed over his head like this. And there's white men, they have footage of this, video footage of it. I'm not making this up. It's white man that's standing over him, down, taking the pictures like that. There were a lot of questionable outfits that Tupac wore. And this is the reason why there's rumors, you know what I'm saying, going around like questioning Tupac's sexuality. Because he wore some things that were questionable. Go back to his high school interview. Go back to his high school interview. But see, nobody wants to talk about that. And if he were this way or that way, it doesn't make a difference. You understand? All I'm saying is that when it comes to the black community, we want to do this to people that we love, to people that we admire, to people that we look up to. That's what we want to do. We want to turn a blind eye. I fucked around and wore a Spider-Man blanket over my head, and y'all went crazy. I'm going to say this, so I'm going to say it again. The baby. And if the baby hears this and he gets mad at me, what are you getting upset with me for? You the one who wore the diaper. And the baby, this is video footage. You go online, Google it, go to YouTube. His performing, prior to him getting this record deal, he was performing on stage with a diaper on. Tupac toured with Digital Underground. When Digital Underground came out with the song, Do What You Like, all the Humpty Dance is your chance to do the hump. Oh, do me, baby, do the Humpty Hump. And you can see Tupac on stage, the backup dancer. He was a backup dancer at the time. Chest exposed, thong on, humping a blow-up doll. Just say you like who you like. That's it. That's it. You see, I was around when Tupac was out. And I was on the ground. I had my boots to the ground. I was the one that was talking about radio frequency identification chips, the New World Order. I was talking about that in the early 90s, while Tupac was talking about some thug life. So stop it with the BS. There were real organizations and black people that was out on the ground doing real work for the community while Tupac was dissing Biggie Smalls. And I'm not going to say he created the East Coast, West Coast beef. That's not what I'm saying. But he damn for sure contributed towards it. By dissing, most of the people that he dissed were East Coast rappers. And most of the people that he dissed didn't have anything to do with Biggie Smalls. Like Tupac was just dissing people randomly. Nas didn't have nothing to do with it. Prodigy from Mobb Deep, or rather overall Mobb Deep didn't have nothing to do with it. He said, yo, don't one of y'all NIGGASs got sickle cell? And he was talking about Prodigy. But see, y'all young. And y'all think y'all know everything. You look at 2 or 3 videos and you so fascinated with this man. And I'm telling you, while he was alive, he was a menace to society. That's what he was. Straight up. Yeah, he was an intelligent person. But let me tell you something about intelligent people. I say this. He said intelligent things. Intelligent people go by what they say. That's what intelligent people do. If they say something, they stand behind it. Tupac didn't do that. He just talk. And you can hear it in the interview he did. He said, you know what gets me into trouble? This is Tupac's word. He said, my big mouth. I don't know when to close my mouth. There was no conspiracy theory. None of that. When he died, wasn't nothing behind it. What took place, the incident that took place but prior to Suge Knight and him getting shot, he had no business getting into that. The man, Orlando, whatever his name was getting jumped by Suge and some other people. Tupac, is video footage of this. Tupac ran all the way from one end of the casino to the other side to kick Orlando while he was already down. If Tupac didn't interfere, get into that mess, he would be alive till this day. Straight up. He was not an asset to our community. He was more so a liability. Period. That's real talk. Was he passionate in his songs? Did he make some positive songs in his albums? Yes. I'm not going to deny that. But I'm not going to sit here and let you all make this man out to be a martyr or a Martin Luther King, a black leader. How? Have you ever seen... Now, I've heard that Martin Luther King used to smoke cigarettes. But he never showed it. You never seen any pictures of Dr. Martin Luther King smoking cigarettes. But I can show you pictures, videos, and all the rest of that stuff of Tupac smoking cigarettes, smoking weed. He did an interview when he was tore up. That's when I said some of these videos, some of the things that he wore were questionable. He did a video, this interview, tore up. He had a leather black tank top on, right? Tight leather black tank top. And he's smoking weed high as a motherfucker. And he's like, yo, I smoke weed because that's what NIGGASs do. BITCHs because that's what NIGGASs do. Have you ever heard Dr. Martin Luther King or Malcolm X say that? Straight up. And I'm not going to talk about the R case, the RA, case, because I truly believe he didn't have anything to do with that. I think that girl got an Amtrak ran on her, and then she got in her feelings, and she blamed it on Tupac. That plain and simple. So we can agree on that. That he ain't had, in my opinion, he had nothing to do with that. Because according to him, and let me tell you something, Tupac, to me, in my opinion, he's not a liar like that. You understand? In my opinion, he ain't gonna lie like that. You know what I'm saying? So he told the story of prior to that situation, the girl performed fellatio on him in the club. And I truly believe that. But outside of that, man, listen, man, Tupac wasn't no damn asset to the community. Tell me how. Tell me in the comment section of this video, tell me how he was asset to the community. Because I'm telling you, I was out there screaming at New World Order, RFID chips, and all the rest of that stuff about how the government is this, that, and so forth. You know how all of a sudden now y'all starting to catch on, like 20, 30 years later on. I was talking all that shit 20, like when Tupac was out. I've been have read, Behold a Pale Horse, written by William Cooper. I've been have read the autobiography of Malcolm X. I've been have read what's that book? It was called New World Order, written by, I forgot the name. Man, I've read so many damn books. I was out there. And never once did I ever hear Tupac talk about some New World Order, any of that. If anything, most of the East Coast rappers were talking about that, like Nas, Wu-Tang, Mobb Deep. Tupac, as soon as he got out of jail, he was on that California, even though he was born in New York. He was a New Yorker. He wasn't from Cali. Bug me out, man. Bug me out. I'm gonna stay on this. I wore Spider-Man blanket over my head. Over my head. And I was kicking some real shit on this video. For real. For real. Look at the video. I was dropping some jewels on this video. And some dude threatened me. Talking about some, I'm gonna read it. I've already blocked you because he was like, he said, Langston, you becoming weirder and weirder. Nigga. I finna unsubscribe from you cuz KUZ. You be in your feelings too much. I'm blocking you anyway. So this is what he wrote. Don't let me catch you in the city anymore. I be uptown or up to north, NAWF city by Sugar Creek. So if I catch you, it's on site, NIGGA. If y'all could read it. It's hard to read. It's crazy. You're weird. You're weird. All you dudes out there talking about your thugs and that you know what I'm saying? It's on site. You know what I'm saying? Let me get the Addy and all the rest of that. You know what I'm saying? You on demon time. I'm gonna show y'all how weird you all are. You know what I'm saying? With your pants sagging. You know what I'm saying? You got the blicky. You got the stick. You riding around looking for your ops. But guess what? When you get arrested, I'm gonna show you just how weird you NIGGASs be. When you get arrested and you go to court, you don't have your stick on you. You don't have a hoodie on. Your pants ain't sagging. You got a suit and tie on. You do whatever that lawyer told you to do. And he told you to look presentable. Because the judge can give you anywhere to 10 to 15 years. You all that animo, IB, all that ebonics that you be talking, it's on site, all that shit you be talking in the streets, it's yes ma'am, yes sir. You real proper in the courthouse, in the courtroom. So if anyone's weird, it's you people. You NIGGASs. Straight up. Keep it real. If you about that life, you about thug life, like Tupac was, then be about that life in the courtroom, in the courthouse.